If all you ever think about is everything wrong with the world around you, you're going to be miserable every day of your life and you're never going to get anywhere. I think there's a better way to live life, and today I'm going to talk about it.
The world that we live in is admittedly pretty bleak sometimes. There's an endless source of terrible news and horrific events happening that you can hear about all day long, and you really don't have to look for it. It's all over your feeds, it's probably your coworkers, your friends, anybody, anywhere. And it's pretty easy to fall into this nihilism and this acceptance or depression that the world is just cooked. You know, it's over. It's easy for anybody to think of going to school and playing Xbox when you get home. It's easy for us all to go there. It's not easy for any of us to go forward and think of good times. I gotta be honest. Personally, I'm kind of sick of being miserable. Now, this video is going to be difficult because there are so many bad things that happen. And some people will hear my words and interpret it as just ignore it all. You know, just be happy. Focus on distracting yourself and focus on the good things and whatever. Ignore the tragedies that happen. And that is not my messaging. And I do acknowledge how awful the world is so frequently. But to live in that headspace where that's all you can see, and to live in that place where nothing in your life seems like it has any point, none of those things are going to change anything by being just in your head. The only thing that's going to change is your actions and your achievements and your goals, and it's going to make you miserable because you can't do anything about so many of those problems. And so all you're doing is just thinking about how terrible things are and thinking about how guilty you are that you can't do anything, and you're just feeling terrible and empathetic towards the people who are suffering. And where does that get you? I think that empathy is valuable, and I think that it's important to consider the world events. But at the same time, as difficult as it is and as harsh as it is, you still have to live your life. It's not terrible to want to make things, and you're not terrible for putting the world aside for a moment to focus on yourself, because you're important. You're one of a kind. And if you decide not to do things, those things will never be done by anybody else. I'm speaking creatively here, of course. I think that making art or making anything during bad times is just the way of the world. But for so many people, you just get stuck in this trap of social media and people hating on everything that possibly exists just because the internet just hates things, I guess. So let's just keep hating things. Doesn't that seem a little backwards to you? Doesn't it seem like the more we share together as humans, the more we should love and appreciate things? Instead, what happens is we just hate things as a group instead. And that's just such a worse version of things to go down. I'm sort of talking with a lot of ambiguity here. I want to be more specific. Something that I've tried to do in recent times is appreciate the beauty in things. That could be nature or that content, because there is still beauty in content. There is art out there to find and witness and observe and experience. There's good things out there that you can also look at. I used up all the synonyms a second ago. But I feel like you can only see those things when you crawl out from under that tungsten blanket you wear every day of misery. You're not solving those things you're so worried about, and all you're doing is spending your day feeling bad about it. It's not helping. Just to be frank with you, it's not helping the situation, and it's not helping you. So what's the point of that? To me, I feel like there was no point of that, and I was very depressed. And it's just being on the internet and being stuck in these tornadoes of vicious, toxic trash. It did nothing for me. And it did nothing for anybody else that I was in those circles of trash with. I just had this realization that, what are we doing here? Why are we making ourselves so miserable? It's not a way to live, I don't think. So what I do is I try to be mindful of the things that are good in life. I try to be mindful, and I try to appreciate the family that I still have and the friends that I still have, because I don't have all of the ones that I used to have. And that is very challenging. And I'm sure many of you relate to that. But missing people doesn't mean that I can't love those people who are missing, but also doesn't mean I can't love and appreciate those who are still around. And it doesn't mean that I can't shift my perspective to say, instead of spending my time wishing I had what I've lost, I will instead spend my time being grateful for what I still have, because I will lose all of this someday. I just will. That is the only way things can go, is you will lose everything someday. And some people will have a really hard time with that. I personally have begun to see it in a different light. Because I've lost, that means that I could lose what I have, and I don't want to lose what I have, but I know that I will. So let me appreciate what I have while I still have it. I wish that I had learned that a long, long time ago. But there I go again, being sad about something that I didn't have. So instead, I will be grateful that I've learned it now. I'm 24. I could have learned this lesson at 34 and lost another 10 years of time that I could have spent appreciating things. Apply that to your own age, whatever age you are, and you're trying to learn this lesson right now. It's sad that you didn't know it sooner, but you could have learned it 10 years later and lost out on all that time. Time is so valuable. It is the only thing that you can never get any more of. You can get more money, you can get more health, you can get more items, you can get more whatever, but time you cannot. And so, I really want to try to help you to realize your life will be so much more full if you spend that time thinking about what you have instead of what you've lost. And these words are so easy for me to say, and they're so easy for you to hear, but they're difficult to apply. It is near impossible to hear words like this and actually feel any value from them. I know that. I don't know how to get around that. I think I'm just going to have to trust that you are able to at least have an open mind. I'm trying to present to you my realizations of what I think is a better way of living life. And I hope that you're able to see that. As Mac Miller said, "You throw me off my high horse, I'll probably fall to my death." I do realize that I am on quite the high horse here, because I do not live every day, every moment, and every minute as this serene fellow who just is never angry. I do feel negative emotions constantly still, and I do feel anger constantly. It plagues every day that I live. But through my efforts, I have become a more happy person overall, and the things that I get mad about have become more insignificant, and the amount of time that I'm mad about it has become less and less, partly because of my efforts to be more mindful of my own little world that I inhabit, rather than the global scale that I am basically insignificant in. I really hope that this is not interpreted as me saying just ignore the bad and be happy, because that's not what I think I'm saying. But I do want you to be happier than you are, because I think the whole world needs that. And the way that I can help the world, or at least help somebody, is by doing things like this, making this little video, make this little speech, trying to help at least one person. I've realized that it's so very difficult to completely understand somebody's thoughts when they're presenting them, and it's damn near impossible to walk side by side as I go through my thoughts, because you don't think my thoughts, I don't think your thoughts. You're not in my head and I'm not in yours. So it's a very big challenge to be able to walk hand in hand, side by side, through topics like this or topics like any other that require complicated thought. And I recognize that challenge, but I suppose I present that challenge to you. And even saying that, my little demons creep in and they say, "Oh, you sound very arrogant right now. You're telling people that they cannot walk alongside your thoughts because you're so complex." That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is it's difficult to walk along anybody's thoughts. You don't think how anybody else thinks. The challenge is being open-minded enough to try to allow yourself to journey through somebody else's thoughts. But anyways, I think we got a little deep in the weeds there, and I might have lost my focus, but hopefully you're able to follow along regardless. I hope that you've been enjoying these past few uploads. I seriously feel like I have just turned a new leaf. Maybe I finally cracked the code on what form my thoughts can take when outside of my head. And so I've been enjoying this. I am very high up on that high horse. That is, after all, the point. But I hope I can bring some value while I'm up there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in this week to the Late Night Crunch. I hope you're having a wonderful day, or at least I hope that you're able to appreciate the good parts of your day. I'm sure there were at least a couple. That's all from me. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.